Hello, welcome to Distinguished Diva. This is Adeola Naomi. I am the conjurer, editor, lover, nurturer at Distinguished Diva and the founder. And I just wanted to bring to you a full moon reading because I've got called to do it. And I already do Black Woman's Affirmation. If you don't know, for those who don't follow us on social media, I do Black Woman Affirmation weekly on Distinguished Diva and on my personal page. It's a deck that we created here at Distinguished Diva, and it's a power deck. It's beautiful. I draw tarot cards, readings, and energy readings specifically on what's going on. And to get into today's specific reading, it is a Virgo full moon reading, and also Mercury retrograde is finally going direct on this full moon, which is happening on the 8th of March globally. And even though the energy of the full moon will be at its peak on the 9th of March, I would say that's the day the full moon is happening. 8th of March is not the day, I'm sorry. And I would just say that for me personally, Adeola, and what I'm feeling is that the energy of Virgo full moon is the energy of rest, nurture. Because you feel a lot of chaos externally. I'm gonna get deeper into that when I get into the card. There's a lot of chaos externally that what is required from us is actually not to do any magic on the day of the full moon. It's actually to enhance and allow and kind of moon bath, if you can do that. Like sit, talk to the moon, relax, journal, go within. So go to the subconscious and kind of figure out what you need to face right now in terms of your fear, in terms of the obstacles that have been in your way throughout this astrological calendar. So I draw some cards for the energy of the full moon and the next 2 weeks. So basically, this is actually something that it's not about time, but this is the energy that is out there right now during this full moon and Mercury direct energy. And I am using the Modern Witch deck by Lisa Sterle. It's one of my favorite decks at the moment. I'm really connected to it. And I'm also drawing from Oracle cards. So I'm using the Ancestor Angel Oracle deck. And the card that I see, in case you can't see it, the first card is the Nine of Swords. We have the Hierophant. This is a beautiful spread, to be honest. We have the Nine of Swords, the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Judgment card, the Sun, the King of Cups, Justice, Four of Wands, Temperance, and Wheel of Fortune, which is really interesting because we have a lot of Wand, which is very fire energy, and we are moving away from Pisces season. We're going very soon into the spring equinox and starting a new astrological year, which is taking us into Aries season. Lots of fire energy there. So let's get into what I'm getting from the tarot card before we go to the oracle deck for like clarification. And I'm gonna give some full moon ritual that I think you might want to incorporate into your full moon in Virgo, but also something that can be used for every full moon as long as you define what your intentions are. Okay, I'm taking a deep breath. Whew. So I sense the energy of exhaustion, and that's normal from the Nine of Swords. The sword, it's insomniac. There's a sense of insomniac, overthinking, a lot of things going on in your head, a lot of things happening intellectually that you try to figure out that you might actually not need to, from what I'm seeing from the rest of the card. But that's the space that either you were or you currently are in this energy. You're in the energy of worry, the energy. Also, I want to clarify, this is a collective reading. I tried to tap into the energy of everyone that is the collective. So if this resonates with you, that's amazing. If it doesn't, that's also amazing. Take what works and leave what doesn't. So there's a lot of energy of exhaustion, and that's normal. Like, considering that Virgo full moons are like amplifier moon. It's when everything is busting at the brim. So it makes sense during the Virgo full moon to feel anxious about the things you're afraid of, the things you haven't done, the detail, the little detail, because Virgo is all about detailing, all about practicality, but in the deeper sense of like looking into the business plans, that kind of deeper shit, the very, very logistic of things. So there is the 9 of Wands, which the 9 of Swords, sorry, I mean there is 10 of Wands here too. So the 9 of Swords, a lot of tension, a lot of overthinking. It's okay. It's absolutely okay for this energy of anxiety to be the place that you are or you were, as long as you're able to remember and to remind yourself that this is not a permanent place. This is, and also that nothing is really permanent, and also having someone to talk to, someone that you trust, someone that is able to listen, someone that is able to lead, and also someone, I'm sorry, I need to speak water, someone that is able to lead, but also someone that is able to give you guidance and clearance. And this is where the next card come into play. The next card is the Hierophant. So it's time to study. You really see this magnificent being in red sitting down with 2 people looking at them, and these 2 people are either you as the student. The Hierophant is all about learning. You have to go within and learning from now, learning from the past, learning from the subconscious, learning from the mystical, learning from the things that exist and the things that you can't see, the touchable and the untouchable, the tangible and the non-tangible, and learning to find where this key fits. So maybe instead of overthinking, which is also absolutely okay energy, the reaction, the call, the place to be at this space now is the space of learning. It's the space of studying, diligent, deliberate, intentional studying, if you get what I mean. The same energy, the 10 of Wands, is telling me what I'm feeling right now is you're not looking beyond what is in front of you. You're not seeing the bigger picture. You're hung over, you're kind of clenched to the present that is unbearable and that is heavy. You're clinging to it actually is the little detail. That's what I'm feeling right now. It's not the bigger picture, because if you look at the 10 of Wands, you see that there's much more than the ones that make this person hunched over and tired and exhausted. Yes, there is a lot of exhaustion, but that's because they're not seeing the bigger picture. And that doesn't mean that you need to find a way to see the bigger picture by yourself. That can be something that happens through learning and through studying. So that's the energy. I'm really getting the energy of studying, but not studying just the things that you understand, but actually aligning yourself with people and masters and teachers and mentors and sponsors that can teach you from your ancestors to your spirit guide. Those are people you need to learn from, your ancestors, the spirit guide, the people who've come before us, the people who are here, and the people who are to come. So the learning needs to literally be mystical, intergenerational, and intergalactic, and very deeper in terms of mysticism and spirituality. So it's time to study and be deliberate, and also learn from different ideas and different opinions and different people. It doesn't look like learning doesn't look like the way we see learning in the Western world. You can learn literally, especially now in the spirit that we all globally are living. It's time to learn from the animals. It's time to learn from the plant. It's time to learn from the spirit. It's time to listen to what the universe and Mother Earth is telling us. Wow. The next card is the 3 of Wands, which is also the card of exploration. I think once the learning is done, you find yourself in a place that you're sturdy, you're ready, you're rooted, you're grounded, and you can see far ahead. You see the journey ahead. There is a journey ahead. There is a movement, because life is circle and things move in circles, and the ups and the down are not permanent. Everything moves and cyclical. So just understanding that, that's where you come. And then Judgment card come in, which I think it fit perfectly into the energy of learning, because the Judgment card is calling you not to judge others, but to rise and look at yourself, to rise from your own ashes, to look forward, to move away from the pits. Yeah, that's, I literally, every time I see Judgment card, it reminds me of learning to let go of what used to be and moving into what is and what would be. That's just it. moving forward by learning to rise, learning to listen to the angelic being, learning to listen to the beings that are not here, to the beings that we don't see with our physical eye, but we see with our spiritual eyes, and we're connected in prayer. I think, yeah, that's the word, prayer. Learning through prayer. And it doesn't matter what faith you are, whatever spiritual belief system, whether Abrahamic or ATR, African traditional religion, or whatever Wicca, whatever new agey thing you are doing, prayer is the key, because prayer is how you communicate what you want, where you are, and what you want to go, where you want to go to. That's the message. And I pull out what is the message for, that is the message for where we're feeling and what's going on and what is required of us. And I pulled out card for what is to come. When all the work is done, what is coming, what is looming. I'm really happy about the cards. I think the Virgo full moon is really calling us to go within and relax. A lot of us have learned, especially in capitalism and this very productivity influence word, we have learned to always want to do something that is seemed useful. And what I'm getting is to be a child. Go back to your childlike nature. This is the Sun card. It's telling us to go back to when we have zero worries, when that's the energy that's coming. That's the energy we need to move in right now, to forget, not to forget actually, but to evolve into who our inner child is, to look at the sun, to smell the roses, to say thank you, to write gratitude. Yes, write your gratitude list every day for the next 2 weeks and see what happens. See how that changes your life. Do this even, I'm challenging you to do this for the next 21 days. Write your gratitude list. What are you grateful for every day? At least 3 things you're grateful for every day. Look up to the sun and smell the roses. Every day find something in nature. It doesn't have to be something grand like I got $1 million contract or blah blah blah. It could be I woke up today and there is water by my desk. Yeah. And the next card right next to the Sun card is the King of Cups. It's calling us to go within and find compassion and passion for ourselves. Or this can be something we find from a lover, from people within our community. And I talk a lot about intimacy, and I talk a lot about romantic friendship. This card for me, it's actually about cultivating love that is deeper than sexual partnership, that is deeper than hooking up, that is deeper than the culture of transaction, but actually an energy of compassion, an energy of tenderness, an energy that is rooted in growth, but growth from within and growth from knowing who you are and having this very beautiful rooted but also subconsciously connected, like the Pisces energy. You're welcoming the unknown, you're welcoming the deeper stuff in the word, but you're also sitting and steady and ready to give that love to others and to yourself. And this can be, I think it could also be a love relationship for most of us, like being in love that is easy and effortless and gentle and doesn't require fighting. Because that's the thing, we learn a lot to fight for things. Sometimes you don't have to fight for some things because they're so easy and your ancestors have brought them to you. And there is balance. The next card is the Justice card. You see everything. You're not blind. You are not blind to what? You're not blind to the good and to the bad. You're not blind to what needs to be done. You are able to weigh your options. Your options are out there laid. You're not disillusioned, because that's also something we do as human beings, to pretend that we don't see, which is where this card, the 10 of Wands, where you literally are disillusioned because you're facing the front of right now. You're not looking into the long term. You're very short-sighted. That's what we're not here. We're moving into the energy of we have mental acuity to know and to critically engage with everything and every side of us and every part of the argument. Amazing. And the next thing that happens, and the next card right after that, is the Four of Wands. It's the energy of leisure, of celebration, of growth. There is sprouts of growth around this card. There are 2 people, 2 individuals enjoying each other's company, having a picnic. I think this is love, because it doesn't have to be a romantic heterosexual love. It could literally be any type of love, but I think this is love where after you weigh all your options, there's maybe some of us are actually thinking about a new beginning in terms of a new relationship, romantic partnership, and the 4 of Wands is talking to me as like there is, you both have chosen each other and you've both have decided to leave behind the chaos and move into discovering who you both are, but also discovering each other by pleasuring each other, which I think is the most radical way to be in a relationship. And the next 2 cards that flew out about what's happening long term, it's so beautiful, is the Temperance card and the Wheel of Fortune. I'm gonna bring them together. And the Temperance card is all talking about being able to step in, to be deep into the mystics, but also to be rooted in the ground. So it's literally about, if you think about, we're in Pisces season, almost going to its end, but the full moon is in Virgo, a very gentle, soft, feminine earth sign. This card speaks volume. It's about understanding that both is required. Like, emotions are data. I keep saying this, emotions are data, and your critical mind is also data. The quantitative and the qualitative data is required for the progress and evolution of humanity and the evolution of us. And it's, if you think about what is going on in the world right now, it feels overwhelming, it feels anxiety inducing, but knowing that how you feel and what is happening and the data that you receive in the world is required for us to understand better how to deal with the situation. Especially in a situation of pandemic, in a situation where everybody is anxious, there has to be balance. The cups must both be full and both interchangeably fill each other. And the data, the sun is rising, the ground is fertile. As long as we as individuals are able to tap into the ancestral realm, into the mystical realm, into the spiritual realm, and know that the spirit and the physical world are required for our evolution, and both are okay to tap into at the same time. You can't be spiritual and then strip yourself of that spirituality once you step into the physical world. Both are required. And in that sense, and as an ending to the tarot reading, is the Wheel of Fortune saying that everything moves. Right now, it might not feel like it, but always remember that nothing is permanent and nothing is the end. Everything, nothing is not, things are not set in stone. This too shall pass. That's the word. This too shall pass, and everything moves. So remembering that as you enjoy this relationship, as you enjoy this partnership, the good is great, the great is amazing, but when things are not as good, also knowing that that is the part of the journey and that's part of the evolution, and that will always be there. And then we go into the Oracle deck. Thank you so much. Moving on, I have the Seer. There's a lot of see beyond the current situation. Basically, literally speaking to this 2 card. See beyond what you can see now. You see a seer with a crystal ball, their eyes closed, and they are just looking into the future with their hands and their eyes. See beyond what you can see. Mother Nature is saying, feel love and comforted. We need to protect our Mother Nature. We need to do better by nature. We need to do better by each other. We need to protect each other. This is what's going on, really. You are not alone. The Guardian Angel card. Absolutely. Self-explanatory. Loud as fuck. Sorry for I'm not really sorry. Ego. It says see from a higher perspective. That's it. Learn to see from a higher perspective. The message is really clear. So I'm gonna give you 2 tips on rituals to do for Virgo full moon. Listen, 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 listen. Turn off everything and spend at least 15 minutes by yourself listening to what's going on in your mind. If you do that, after you do that, I encourage you, if you want to create a space for that to happen and for you to take deeper time to journal and write down stuff, make herbal tea with lavender. That's what I'm feeling called to. Make a lavender tea, light up your candle, turn up a little bit of lavender incense into the room, or spray some lavender into the room and drink, and just allow the energy of the Virgo full moon to direct you into what you feel. Get in touch with deeper stuff. Get in touch with your Venus. Dance if you can't. Flow. Stretch your body. And thank you so much for this. And I'm really, really, really happy that you're here, that we are doing this together, and that this journey is full of mystical teachers and healers and lovers and mothers and sisters and sisters. Thank you so much. That's it. Happy full moon.